Hello students, your teacher here, Mr. Sirasinski, with another episode of Getting Ready for Geometry. And in this video, I want to talk to you about straight angles, vertical angles, and linear pairs. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to find the missing angles in this diagram. So I have line segment AB and line segment CD, and they intersect at point E. And right now, I know that the measure of angle BED is equal to 65 degrees. All right, so now let's talk about what's going on here. So we have one angle in this picture, and I want you to think about this intersection or these two intersecting lines kind of as forming a circle. And just for a moment, just stay here with me, okay? If this was a circle, then our angle, CD, line segment CD, would form a diameter because E is the center of the circle. And, you know, if CD ended on the edge of the circle, then that would be a diameter. And a diameter goes through the center of the circle, and it splits the circle into two equal parts. And if you know anything about circles, you probably know that a circle has 360 degrees. And that means that half of a circle is 180 degrees. So since the first part, or the top part of my circle, is formed by the measures of angles, we'll go BEC, and the measure of angle BED, then I know that these two angles are going to equal 180 degrees. So this is unique because, and we had a similar example in a previous video, but this is unique because BEC and BED are adjacent. And their sum is 180. And if two angles are adjacent, meaning they are next to each other and share a ray, in this case, this would be ray BE, and their sum is 180, then we call them linear pairs. All right, so in this example, we have a linear pair, and our linear pair would be angles BEC or CEB and angle BED. Okay, so what is the measure of angle BEC? Well, if we know that both angles total to equal 180, then 180 minus 65 will give me my degree measure for angle BEC. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on our picture here. All right. So now let me get rid of some of these lines here. Okay. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do now is continue to go around the circle. And so let's imagine for a moment that line segment BA is forming a semicircle here. And now we know that line segment AB or BA is a diameter. It's going through the center of the circle at point E. And so that means that angle AB, and this is a new word, is a straight angle. And this one kind of strange to me when I first learned about this. So we can technically call this angle AEB. And a straight angle has a sum, or doesn't have a sum. It's just equal to 180 degrees. And the reason I thought this was really strange when I first learned about it is because I wouldn't really call that an angle. It's just a flat line, but I think you understand. And so we can think about this as a straight angle, or we can think about this as forming half of a circle, but either way, it's 180 degrees. So that means that angles, or the measure of angle CEA and the measure of angle BEC equals 180 degrees. And so now I can find the measure of angle CEA by subtracting 180 and 115. And if I do that, I get 65 degrees. And I can keep going around the circle here, and if I were to say, okay, well, line CD is also a diameter, which makes angles CEA and angle AED as supplementary because they're forming half of a circle, and calculate the measure of angle AED as also 180 minus 65, which is 115 degrees. All right, so now we have our picture filled in. We have angle BED is 65, angle BEC is 115, and angle AEC is 65, and angle DEA as 115. When angles are across from each other, as they are in this picture, and they're always congruent, and this is called vertical angles. Okay, when you have two intersecting lines, therefore creating angles across from each other, and across from each other horizontally and vertically, even though they're called vertical angles, they are congruent. So in this diagram, angles BEC and angle AED are vertical angles. So that was BEC, this angle, and AED, this angle. And then also angle BED and angle AEC are vertical angles because they're across from each other. And vertical angles are always congruent. All right, so a quick recap. We learned about vertical angles. Vertical angles are across from each other when two lines intersect, and they're always congruent. We learned about linear pairs. Linear pairs are two angles that are adjacent and whose sum is 180 degrees. And we learned about straight angles. And a straight angle is basically just a flat line, and it has a degree measure of 180 degrees. I am your teacher. This is the way.